Hey everybody, this is Austin here. We're going to be playing Airlock today, released by Data Age in 1982. As you can tell by the company's logo here, or title here, and not the title of the game. Critics have basically stated that games from Data Age and subpar games like this are basically the reason for the video game crash in 1983. Because at that time, games didn't really have to fit any kind of standard of quality. They could just basically be released onto a console for the 2600. So I went ahead and I hit reset here so we could start the game. Let me go over a couple little unique mechanics. So you can move left and right and you can jump. Not really unique. Use the arrow keys and the space bar. The goal of the game is to grab these keys in the top right and top left area of each level. You are story-wise on a sinking submarine, and you have to get to each level before your timer runs out. What's unique about this game is each level has 10 seconds that you can use to get to the end of the level, and if you don't get there in the end of the 10 seconds, then you're dead. Now, while that doesn't sound too bad, and while I'm probably making this look very easy, this game controls very poorly. And 10 seconds is not enough time to get to the end of each level. As you can see, I lost right now. So critics were kind of critical, obviously, because the game was very difficult at the time, and it does not have any player skill that it doesn't follow any flow channel where a player's skill increases over time with the game, and the game becomes more difficult. Instead, from the beginning, you're expected to be able to follow this very, very, very tight timeline, and as you try to get to the end. And as I said, it controls very poorly, and like while it looks like a normal platformer, the jumps, I guess, would be probably similar at the time. You can only jump while moving diagonally, but the issue is not jumping, and it's not moving. It's avoiding the barriers and avoiding the missiles. The missiles, I guess as they're called, which, okay, apparently I lost. The missiles don't really look like missiles. They kind of just look like the player character without legs. And they roam on the bottom of this each little level here. And as I wait for this one to pass, because the timer does not start until I actually hit jump, as you can see, the top right corner of the screen is now going down. As soon as that hits 0, I'm basically done for. Oh, hey, there we go, 0. And dead again. As you wait for these missiles to pass, the missiles in the higher levels will, keep moving, which kind of messes up your trajectory and like where you're planning on jumping. But the other issue too is as you're waiting for them to pass, the timer keeps ticking down, and you're basically screwed if you don't make a specific jump. The other little mechanic of this game is that if you get hit by the missile, it won't kill you, it'll just knock you out, which doesn't really do anybody any favors, because if you hit 0 and don't get to this elevator, oh my god, wow, okay. It's gonna be like that, huh? Where I hit the elevator and it still kills me? Nice. So if you hit a missile and it knocks you out, your timer's gonna go down and you're basically gonna lose anyway. So honestly, you should have just killed me at that point. Just as an example, Atari gaming headquarters gave this game a 50%. Video Game Critic gave it a 54%. I've seen other reviews that gave it a 12. For example, let's go ahead and look at these barriers. These barriers are the basic building blocks of why people hate this game so much. So these barriers are very finicky to jump over. If you tap onto them, it's neither here or there which direction it'll actually throw you. They're impossible to get over unless you're like right next to them. Oh hey, look, I got hit by a missile. You have to be right next to them. You have to make sure that you are holding down an arrow and jumping at an angle. So if you do not jump at an angle, you can only jump up, and you'll basically just die. The other annoying thing about this is you cannot choose which key to get first, though that is basically irrelevant, because either way you would have absolutely no time to get the key on the left and then on the right and then go to the elevator. Beep, boop, boop, beep. Another criticism from critics was that this game is just a series of beeps and boops. There's not much for sound or really anything as far as aesthetic goes. Like I said, the missiles don't even look like missiles. They literally look like the player character, just with no legs. Which, I mean, like, you could have did something, just a little bit of something. But it's in the earlier recordings that I had to throw out because of mistakes, or one of them I went like 15 minutes instead of 5. I was actually able to make all 5 levels. This is not happening in this recording, unfortunately. But so there's 2 game modes. One of them has 5 levels. One of them has 10. If you do the 10 levels, you get extra time on the clock. Which, I mean, I guess that's nice, sure. One of the things that critics were also critical of, but made literally no sense, is that if you do really well, the timer just keeps going. Come on. The timer just keeps going. And if you are really good, you could basically end up on like level 4 with like 13 seconds instead of 10. Like, wow, that's amazing. But critics were really annoyed because they're like, oh, well, if you get past the first level, like, it's really easy. But it's really not. I mean, I've gotten to like level 5 and then just had the missile hit me. Wow, I actually can't beat the first level, but I've beat it repeatedly, so that's weird. Alright, well, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Go play this if you want. It's over at virtualatari.org. It's called Airlock. See how high you can get, see if you can beat all 10 levels or something, I guess. Thanks for watching.